But frankly, as I'm going through this, my own day-to-day process that we just started, um, if I'm working in a group, I'm likely to follow through. But my wife's working with me, so we keep ourselves accountable. But if I'm by myself, it's too much freaking work.
Well, you
It's
need
too
an
hard.
accountability partner, and
If it's kind of like you're taking this leap of faith that something's going to work. So having somebody that's actually been there and done it, and it's working for them, encouraging you to say yes, it works, and you got to get through this part, that helps a lot. And then the other thing is just, I'm going to be doing my day-to-day process anyhow. It's not hard for me to hop on a Zoom call, say, okay, for the next hour, everybody's going to be working on their day-to-day process. They're going to be reaching out to people, and then the monitor goes off. Everybody does their work. At the end, you come back on, you just check in to make sure they did their work, and you say, okay, we'll see you again next week. But that works really well for this email marketing heroes that I'm a part of.
It is.
So
because at the end of the day, you want to give as much value as you can, and you want to have them exercise what they've learned, and accountability is a big thing. I had one of my clients says, can you be are we meeting for accountability? And I said, well, you're not paying for that. Tell her. I said, I would love to, but you're not really paying for that. So I think it'd be good to do a month thing to make sure they're actually making progress.
Yeah, it's both you and Jean-Michel fill your calendar every week with appointments with the daily process. I'm building my email list and subscription list, doing the same thing. So the process works, and and most people don't have a day-to-day process that they can count on. It's going to work like the sun's going to rise in the morning and set in the evening. Nobody has anything that's that certain, but we do.
Yeah.
Anyhow, it's time.
Yeah, I think it's time. So we're just jibber jabbering. I'm trying a new monitor now. Let's see how this works out.
Got some people tuning in from all over, huh? That's awesome. Global audience here. Evanston, South Jersey, Pittsburgh. All right, mostly the States here. That's awesome. Welcome. Vancouver. All right, Canada.
Right.
New Zealand.
Thanks for checking in, guys. Let us know where you're coming from.
Global.
Who sent you an invite? Who was that? Was that your people, Darius?
I'm not positive.
New Zealand, Tampa, Florida. I know a lot of Canadians now. I don't know how. New Zealand,
Canada, checking in.
New Jersey,
Tennessee, Illinois, Minnesota, Jersey. Nice. Would please have captions. I don't know if that's an option. Instant caption, is it?
This is the real time.
Yeah, this is happening right now, man. The captions would be kind of spunky.
70 on so far. Let's give it another minute and give people, the number keeps going up. And I want to do, before we get started, get too deep into this, let me do this. Let me roll this first poll out. And the first poll is the daily action plan. We'd like to know how many people actually have a daily action plan that's helping them achieve their weekly sales goals. So I've got a plan that's it's a routine that you follow every day that's getting you to where you want to be. Let me launch the poll. Let's see how many people say, yes, I have one, or no, I do not. So please jump on there and tell us, is your daily plan getting you where you want to be?
Oh, I can't vote.
Yeah, hosts can't vote.
That's right.
Yes, I have one. I've worked very hard on it.
Yeah, you can't be successful in anything unless you have a daily routine that you follow. All my clients, even the ones that weren't that bright, quite frankly, had a daily plan, and they were multimillionaires. And I would scratch my head like, how does this guy's not very bright, but he followed a daily plan religiously. And he made each one of those clients that did that made just a ton of money, and they had lots of free time. They had the best life of anyone that I knew. And it came down to a daily routine.
Yeah.
So we got an 80-20 here going so far. I think we can close this in a second. Let's give it another
embracing the ignorance, huh? Don't need to know everything. Then go through the day-to-day process. It
I was
does
gonna
help,
say-
though. There's a couple of little details, and Darius will get into it. He'll talk about a couple of them because I use this method quite often. A lot of it is about personally engaging, and by doing that, you don't have to, always depend on all these other things, because people want to work with people, and that's part of what the presentation is about.
All right, we'll go here another 10 seconds and then we'll close the poll. So anybody that's got one last minute vote that they have in their pocket, please go ahead and do that.
I saw too, Vanda had a thing. Having a plan is one thing, following is another. Well, you're in the right place because that's what today is all about, is not only building that plan, but actually being accountable and sticking to that plan and making it work. So you're in the right place.
All right, we're going to end the poll, share the results. We're at 76% don't have a plan and would like one. Like Darius said, you're in the right place because we're going to give you one. We're going to tell you what to do, how to do it. It's up to you to actually execute. All right. So let's get started here. Okay, so Troy, you have the comm, man.
Oh, awesome. I thought you were going to go ahead and talk through these slides, and I was controlling the slides until we got to a stopping point.
Oh, you want to
I can do it. I can do it.
That's fine. That's fine. It's all good. All right. So what the heck? We're going to talk about what the heck LinkedIn is about, how to set it up, how to use it. So like I said, it's what to do and how to do it in a day-to-day plan. If you follow the day-to-day plan, you will see success. If you don't, well, we can't offer you any guarantees. Our sponsors. I'm going to mention the sponsors by first name, just simply because I do not want to screw up their last name. So we have Jennifer. I can pronounce Glass. That one's easy. She is a business and marketing consultant for local businesses. We have Karen, who has a very interesting app for curation. We're going to leave links for all these guys in the chat. I'll do that right after I'm done mentioning their names. We have Pat, who is an executive consultant, and we have Hayato, who is a coach. Did I get that right? I think I did.
He's a LinkedIn coach for
LinkedIn coach for for corporations. So we do appreciate our sponsors. We love these guys. We're going to leave the link for all of these guys in chat here just in a second. And please go visit their profiles and support them in any way they can because they're supporting us. It's because of them we were able to put on the show. Now, the stars of the show today. We have the great Troy Hippolito, who is the not so boring LinkedIn guy. He's got a joke in there. I'm not going to mention it. I don't feel comfortable with it, but I'll let him bring up the joke afterwards. And then there's me, Ed Forto, aka Mr. Deliverability. I help people create successful money-making email campaigns. So if your email campaign's not making as much money as you like, I'm the guy to talk to get that fixed and get you making more money. We've got Jean-Michel, the captain, the LinkedIn rocket scientist. He actually ran our last training with the LinkedIn profile makeover, and he actually built our website that we're going to show you here at the end, and he did a great job. And then Darius Santos, he is the co-founder of Dub, which is a video marketing platform for messages and emails, and it's a CRM. I've had it for 4 years. I use it all the time. I have 2 other apps that are like that, but I always use Dub first. Dub is my go-to application, and Darius is going to be talking about how to use video in your day-to-day process. In fact, Troy, you use video, and you had something very interesting to say about when you use video in getting meetings with prospects.
Yeah, so that's actually part of my day-to-day process, and I'm homing it down with Darius to actually use Dub to do this. But if you personally engage with a lot of individuals, if you target properly, if your profile is correct, 1/3 of my welcome messages convert to a meeting. I hardly send any invites out. I send maybe like 6 a day or something like that. But I always get at least 35 meetings a week. And it's because I build a personalized video that talks about them, and it opens the invite up to engage with. So it works really well.
Well, let me guys actually show you, because part of this presentation today is going to be building this process. This is one of these first components of that process, because making connections is the first step. Well, not quite. We're setting up the profile. We did that last training, so now we're making connections. I'm going to show you guys a quick strategy here of how to do what Troy just described, how to create a personal video for a connection opportunity. I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm going to take over just a second, guys.
And one other thing too, Darius, I'll go ahead and give them a link.
Sorry,
so they can...
This one, yeah, there we go. Thank you. All right. And go ahead.
I said I was going to go ahead and give them the link. Or Ed, can you give them the link to the Dub? Yeah, so you can get a free Dub extension. So if you want to try this, you're more than welcome to do that.
Absolutely. So this isn't Dub, this is LinkedIn, and I'm going to show you why I'm showing this here. Now let's pretend Ed is someone I just made a connection with, or someone I'm looking to create a relationship with. I'm going to show you guys this little button right here. This is called the Dub Chrome extension. What it allows you to do is create really any type of video from your computer. It can be your screen, your webcam, it can be your webcam plus your screen. I actually have Troy's account pulled up here, so I'm going to pretend that I'm Troy. Now, these guys already know each other, obviously, but I'm going to give you a quick example of what this looks like. So this is actually using Troy's account, and you're going to see the result. All I have to do is press this record button, and now I'm actually recording this screen. I can say, hey, Ed, so great to connect. I just wanted to create this quick video for you. You know, my team and I actually produced a video that comes right after this one, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. And in fact, if you're interested, you'll find my calendar right below this, and we can grab a quick time to talk about anything you'd like. I'm all about providing value to my connections. Thanks. Again, very generic script there. The other thing, though, you can do here, if you want to show something visual, maybe your website, maybe you can just say, hey, we have 63 mutual connections. That's interesting. Ohio State, I have some clients there. You know, you can call out anything you'd like. You can switch tabs. I can even say something like, hey, let me share this with you about your LinkedIn profile. There's some things here that look really good. Ed's profile is basically as good as it gets, so I can't give any advice. All right. At the end of this video, you simply press the check mark. And what Dub's going to do is it's going to build a little landing page for that video. How this website or landing page gets built is going to be based on your guys' goals. The difference here, you know, maybe LinkedIn has a mobile feature where you can send a video on a mobile device. This is why this is different, because instead of sending them to a blank video or something like YouTube, you're going to send them to a professionally designed video landing page where all of your best performing assets are going to be. So you heard what I said. I said, hey, Ed, just want to introduce myself. So this page here got built, and my calendar's right there below for them to connect. Any other assets that I would want them to do or take advantage of. Let me show you mine, for example.
And Darius, just to interject, I think we built my page in 5 minutes, right?
Right. This thing took literally 4 minutes to build, to connect the calendar, put the image, design the thing, get the logo. All happened in 4 minutes.
Yeah, he was like, Troy, click this, click that.
Right.
There you go. I was
Done.
like, okay.
And here's another example of how a page, because there's one thing we didn't add there, which is the playlist. If you heard what I actually said in the video, I said, hey, Troy, there's a video after this one, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. The way that works is right at the end of this video, it's going to roll into your pre-recorded video. So let's say you have a value proposition about why you want to connect with somebody, about why you're a valuable connection in their LinkedIn world. You pre-record that video one time. Then, using the workflow I just showed you, you can create this video just for that connection. And then you don't have to repeat yourself for the majority of your value proposition. You get this video where I said, hey, Ed, just wanted to connect here. Let me know what you think about the video. And then at the end, it rolls into the next video automatically. And then after that, it'd come testimonials or anything else you'd like to share in that order.
I mean,
whether it's educational or anything. Now, The other part of that, as I mentioned, is the buttons. There can be as many of those or as few of them. And the idea is they're designed to get you the actions you're looking for. Do you want someone to call you or book you, download your attachment, fill out a form? Literally anything you want someone to do from a video page can be done. Nice and simple, just connect the calendar, because that's what we're all really after. We want a nice virtual meeting to see if we're going to be a good fit. So this is how videos are created. And now when we're ready to share this video, it is as simple as using the built-in integration. So you can see right here inside of LinkedIn, there's a dub button built right in, where what I can do with this button is, sorry, let me refresh my page here really quick. What that button allows me to do is get shortcut access to my library. So I click that button, there's the video I just made, and I can share it immediately. And then once I share that video with Ed, this is going to be far more interesting than anything else he's receiving. You can see that's what he's going to see in his inbox. And it instantly answers that what's in it for me mentality. So instead of these plain messages, look at my inbox here. Hey, let me get some time on your calendar, over and over and over. Then I'm ignoring those. This took me 10 seconds to make, and it's the most powerful way to differentiate yourself and to create actions and opportunities in a meaningful way. So that is the front of the technology. Create the video, share it on a customized video landing page automatically through anywhere in LinkedIn. Messages, comments, direct messages, Sales Navigator, anywhere you can share a video or anywhere you can share a message, you can drop in a video. As I mentioned, even comments. So you're trying to follow someone's feed, engage with their stuff, you can leave a video comment right in there. So just like that, click comment, the button's available. So I got a little bit more time here on this part. There's a whole rest of this presentation. This is just the very first piece of how to create a meaningful connection on that first message, right? You connect with someone, you're looking to connect with somebody. There's a technology here on the back end to also help with production, things like automations and campaigns. So you can send out bulk emails. You can send out automated series of messages as well. So that's the full picture of the technology there. It's a CRM. It's a marketing automation like a MailChimp or Infusionsoft that has all that built into the back end. But we're focused here on the front part for this presentation, which is creating meaningful connections on LinkedIn using their profiles. It's a really powerful strategy that will get you more clicks and more responses to your messages than other forms.
Yeah, it looks like there's a couple of questions because I mentioned it works with email as well as LinkedIn. Someone asked about an integration with Salesforce. I don't know how to answer that, Darius.
Yep. Fully integrated with Salesforce. Every part of Salesforce, there's a dub button, just like I showed you in LinkedIn, built right inside of Salesforce. And there's also opportunity tracking. So every little bit of video that gets watched, you get to see who's watching, who's clicking, who's opening that video. All that information gets tracked. And then that information gets synced back over to Salesforce. And you're able to see who's watching, clicking, and opening, and how those tie into opportunities and campaigns inside of Salesforce. We directly integrate with just about every CRM.
Yes. Yeah. So he has a lot of integration with different CRMs. And one other question too is it a link that adds an icon on the bottom? Yeah, it's an animated, it's a link and it produces an animated image in there that's clickable. Exactly.
And we do that because a GIF has the highest click-through rate versus links. People are taught not to click links, and it has more more click-through rate than images as well. So we do that by default.
I use Dub all the time. I can tell you that if you use it for email, I have the highest open rates on my emails, especially when it's a prospect that I've interacted with at all. They always open that email, and they always say, "What is it that you're using?" As long as Dub has been around, it's been over 4 years now. Darn close. Yep. I got in early. I was probably one of the first people to get it. It has grown tremendously since I purchased it. These guys are really dedicated to video marketing, and the app they keep adding more and more stuff to the app. It really is an incredible marketing app. It really is.
Yeah, I kind of see it as a little video CRM.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you have there are other conversations that, like what Darius says, you can pre-record in certain situations. So the same way you would create a library FAQ, like your service operating procedure to reply back, you can pair that up with video, and that definitely makes sense. And depending on the situation.
Darius, does someone have to be a paid member in order to be an affiliate?
No, you don't need to be a paid member to be an affiliate. You do need a Dub account, though.
Yeah.
If you free trial, you can have a free for life account.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
I know my 8 minutes, I had a spot, and I wanted to make sure I was respectful to that. So maybe we save some other questions for the end here. Any questions Dub related? Absolutely happy to answer those. But we have the rest of this presentation to get to. So video stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely toss them in. We'll get to them. I'll even come answer some of the questions in the chat here as we're moving along. But that's it.
So we have so many slides that a part of them is actually for the paid course. So we'll skip over a lot of them. So I apologize. I think there was like 40 something slides that we had just on this. So this is a little bit about me. Ed was great enough to kind of announce who I am. I'm kind of the main speaker here. I used to be known, I'm known as the not so boring LinkedIn guy because I'm pretty boring. I'm dry as toast. So that's my twist on there. So that's my thing to make myself a little bit different. But I'm also known as the #1 Swiss-Filipino game designer in the world because my mother's from Switzerland and my dad's Filipino. And so I was using that for a while. I think people like that. So a little bit about me. I'm a family guy. I'm a single father, veteran of the United States Army. And I enjoy family. I enjoy creating things, and I enjoy friendships. I made a great friendship between Ed and Jean-Michel. And I met Darius not too long ago. Great guy. Doesn't hang out with us as much as these guys, but these guys have really put some thought forward and thoughts forward, and just to try to help other individuals. So what I try to do is I try to work with like-minded individuals that want to help other people. And that giving mentality is very, very important, not just for me personally, but just for you to work on LinkedIn. My past company was ISO Interactive. We worked with a lot of Fortune 500 companies, interesting apps, did Coca-Cola sites, multiple sites, Xbox mobile game, did a Harry Potter virtual world just for the audience. And we were doing really well until all these large Fortune companies start taking the work in-house. And we had to figure out how to get clients. And that's where LinkedIn came in. And I wasn't doing very well. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and I said, my portfolio is much better than yours. How are you doing better than me? He says, LinkedIn is, and so I was going into it. I said, what are you doing? And it's all relationship based. And I realized I was a terrible dater. Like literally, so I was one of those guys, and this is an extreme example. It's not me, but it's like going to a beautiful woman and saying, I find you beautiful. I want to have 2 kids with you right now. You probably get slapped, and LinkedIn is much the same way. You have to date properly. You have to go in there with the intention of helping and getting to know those people. And so I've learned the process of dating on LinkedIn, business dating. And it worked so well, we created a company around it. So that's me, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this presentation. I think the first thing we want to talk about is LinkedIn. What the heck is LinkedIn? It's different things for different people. Used to be where people have resumes and they try to sell people things and they try to recruit, B2B, you name it, right? Well, it is those things sort of, but it's really about how you're using it and why you're using it. It's a great tool. Jean-Michel, if you want to go ahead and speak on this, because you're a professor and you're a history buff of LinkedIn, you want to take over this?
Yeah, I'm happy to, and thanks for having me as a co-host on the show. I was missing my heyday as a university professor, so it's great to be in front of a large audience again to share my knowledge. So, LinkedIn's been really had a really exciting journey, and most people are not aware, but the main social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, they all started about the same time, early 2000. but really it took them a while to develop and catch on. You know, I mean, people really been only leveraging them seriously for maybe the past decade or less. You know, but LinkedIn was growing really fast. You know, it gained 4,500 members on month one. You know, 1 million users in by 2005, and it started mostly as an alumni and a recruiting platform. You know, so in 2005, LinkedIn released LinkedIn for Groups for recruiters and analysts, and then over time they kept through a number of different acquisitions. You know, LinkedIn grew fast. As it was growing fast, it developed new capabilities. You know, that's what really made it unique. So 2006, you know, it was valued at $1 billion. You know, with over 5 million members. It was actually the first social media platform to achieve profitability. By the way, ahead of Facebook and Twitter. And 2008, the mobile app was released, as well as targeted advertising. Targeted advertising, you know, taking advantage of the information you shared on your public or personal LinkedIn profile, of course, right? 2009, you know, LinkedIn's earnings in advertising overcame those of Twitter with over $155 million. And at that time, LinkedIn started expanding overseas, you know, starting with overseas HQs in India, UK, etc. At which point, about 50% of members were international members or networkers. 2011, LinkedIn made it to the New York Stock Exchange under LNKD, you know. And the same year, you were able to, they added the capability to apply for jobs with your LinkedIn profile. Now you're tricking me here, Troy. You kept changing the
I'm so sorry. I have a Mac, so if I just wave my hand, it does things.
Don't touch anything. Don't touch
my
anything.
apologies.
Okay. That's all right. So anyway, you know, I just you have access to the slide. You don't spend a lot of time there, but I do want to mention a couple of things. So you know, 2012, LinkedIn released the influencer program, and then you know, acquired the Pulse news reader platform for $90 million. So you know, so we're starting. It's when the capabilities to post and engage, you know, and create visibility for your post was really developed for LinkedIn. You know, 2013, you know, so from 2013 to today, you know, I mean, LinkedIn more than quadrupled in membership, you know, from 180 million to nearly 800 million members right now. We may reach it by the end of the year, because, you know, with the onset of the pandemic last year, I mean, you know, the growth rate of LinkedIn's membership has really accelerated. Everybody's going on LinkedIn. Actually, between February and December of last year, actually March and December of last year, you know, the number of remote job postings on LinkedIn has increased by a factor 6. So when you combine this with you know, with the new hybrid work model, right? Or people are working from home part-time, getting on the internet, consultants working from home, companies activating, you know, online marketing, obviously, because of social distancing. The way we do business has changed tremendously. So you can understand why LinkedIn is growing much faster nowadays. Now, in 2014, LinkedIn acquired Bright.com for $120 million, a job site. So, you know, you're going to see actually in the past few years, the job search capabilities of LinkedIn is amazing. It's growing fast. The capabilities are even more effective and more powerful than Indeed.com, for example. So that's something, if you guys were not aware of that, and I'll go over the job tab of LinkedIn for a while. You know, this has become a really amazing job search and job matching platform. The largest acquisition of LinkedIn was of lynda.com, the e-learning platform, which became LinkedIn Learning the next year. Now the platform, this is one way LinkedIn makes money, is by offering training to company employees. So of course the employers are paying for that, and they are using the LinkedIn Learning platform to train, to develop the skills of their employees. So it's a big source of revenue for LinkedIn. Now, what happened in 2006, exactly slightly over 5 years ago, LinkedIn's earning report was released, not looking so great. And in one day, LinkedIn lost 44% value in its share. And guess what happens? Microsoft, a few months later, was right behind there and purchased LinkedIn for over $26 billion. So I guess they must have thought that there must have been some value in LinkedIn, right? So, and obviously you've seen more changes since, with a major redesign of the platform in 2017. And when this happens, when your LinkedIn starts flipping around and crashing, right? Because basically LinkedIn, like Microsoft, they like to test the new platform live, right? So, when you have a new release of a Microsoft Windows software in the computer doesn't work anymore, right? That happens.
Yeah, it's amazing what has happened in the first early years. Valuation in 3 years over $1 billion, and they've been doing a lot of updates to LinkedIn just in general, and just up to recently. Here's another chart right here, and this is a very simplified chart, and this is just for the number of members from 2003 to 2005, million, up to 2008, up to 5 million, up to 2012, 180 million. So it's a big gap, a big spread between that, and then from 180 to almost, not quite, 800 million. And LinkedIn has a target of 2 billion people they're going to target worldwide. I don't know where they're going to get there, but you have 2 new members on LinkedIn for every second. And that was a few years ago. I'm assuming it's still the same on that.
4 now.
4 now. Look at that. This is a section we probably will not talk about because we will go over time, but we'll add this to the course, and we're talking about the individual sections. What I will do is I'll go ahead and stop on the jobs portion. If you want to take 30 seconds, Jean-Michel, to kind of talk about this, because you were saying it's so powerful, feel free. But all the other screens, I'll go ahead and pass.
The job, what you have to realize now, what's very, very powerful with a job search on LinkedIn is, number one, the very fast growth of remote position available now. There are probably about 14 million open jobs in the US right now, and half of them being remote right now. But what's beautiful about LinkedIn, because and that's something we've been teaching for a long time to our clients in career transition. You want to get your foot in the door by letting the hiring manager, working directly with recruiters and hiring managers to let them know of your interest working with the company. And the beauty of the LinkedIn platform now is that when you look at a job, LinkedIn will show you the people in your network who work at that company, and will also show you the alumni, people who went to the same school as you did, who also work at that company. Networking, guys, how powerful is that? Mm-hmm. Get your foot in the door, get yourself recommended by an employee, someone you know. Over 60% of jobs in the US are filled in through employee referral programs. It's all about who you know.
Yeah, that's life, isn't it?
That's life.
Yeah, and on number 1, you'll see a lot of similar tags. So these, my jobs, my alert, salary, interview prep, these icons, some of these icons are on different pages, and then you have these separate sections in here to allow you to get where you need to go pretty quickly. You can even request a resume writer on here, you know. So I'll go ahead and go through these others quite quickly. And this is the messaging section. This is the notifications. That's very powerful as well. And I really don't want to take up too much of everyone's time, but this is part of the kind of the paid course that we go through item per item and how to utilize a lot of these things. The other thing is when you have the drop down, you can definitely view your profile, a lot of account settings, management, get to your post quite quickly. So when I need to reference a post and I don't have it on hand, sometimes I'll go here and click my post and my activity to kind of copy and paste that information in a LinkedIn direct message and that sort of thing. This right here is Sales Navigator. Sales Navigator is a huge section, and it's absolutely needed in many industries to pinpoint your target market. Jean-Michel and myself, we're very good at figuring out who's your ideal prospect and getting those larger numbers really tightened down. Let's see here. And then we're also talking, and this is a picture of the actual Sales Navigator, and an example of a search there. So they have a lot of things like spotlights, custom lists, where are they located at, and what relationship are they to you, you know, first, second, third plus. So there's 5 degrees of separation, but LinkedIn uses 3 degrees or 3 degrees plus. There's industries that you can select, and there's titles, particular titles you want to do, and there's additional filters that will even, if you click on the all filters, there's advanced filters that even reduce this down. Now, the reason my search was for me as a LinkedIn guy is that I want these categories, but I also want to figure out, hey, these guys must have at least 3 to 10 years of experience, or maybe just six years of experience and above, but I may want them to be in a new job within 2 years. If that's true, that means the pressure's on for them to convert. And so just by adding this one filter here, I was able to reduce that 28,000 down to 1.5, you know, or no, down to 760 results, which is even better. So my target market is very, very specific to the people that I want to actually pick from and talk to. So these are the 4 things we're talking about. How do I use LinkedIn? Why is it important to my business? Can I really obtain clients, or can I build relationships with it? And how much time should I spend on LinkedIn? That last one is a kicker, because you can literally spend 12 hours a day, because LinkedIn can be fun, especially during the pandemic. You're in there, you're interacting with people, they're doing cool stuff. And I got a little character, what are you in there? So it's a bit of a mystery for a lot of individuals. Oh, see, skipped one there.
And then you're not working anymore, Troy, right? You're just having so much fun in your LinkedIn inbox.
Yeah. You have to have a little bit of focus on it, you know. And if you separate LinkedIn, if I separate LinkedIn in 4 parts, it definitely starts with the profile. And Jean-Michel, you were speaking, I'm looking to the left because I have 2 monitors, so I apologize. It's not like I'm not trying to look at the people there, but you brought in profile optimization, and then we have a course on that. But your profile optimization is the most important thing you want to do first. Allows you to establish who you really are, and then narrows down your target, because you know you do well. The next thing to do is to know who you can help well. And having that optimized profile allows people, when they take a look at your profile, a higher percentage of actually accepting it, and an actual higher percentage of them actually having a conversation with you. So that profile is so important. And even from an SEO perspective, Google has searched the entire LinkedIn. So you got the searches from LinkedIn, you get the searches from Google, you got your profile that's just good looking. It may have a tagline to it as well. It has a personality, and it's very visual. So those are all those things together allows people to come in and allow people to actually accept the invite. The second part is identifying our target and prospects. So once you got one done, the other's a lot easier. We use Sales Navigator, and I use a secondary system to kind of reduce it even tighter. So if you can identify that market, Sales Navigator is a good start. I think it's like $80 a month or whatever, but allows you to do high-end Booleans and high-end searches, excuse me. And a Boolean is a kind of a search. And I have a document for that will allow you to write the Boolean, a company, person, yes, but not this type of person. Type of written statement allows you to optimize that search. The third thing is direct messaging, opt-in email, and feed communication. I kind of group these together. LinkedIn DMs, opt-in email, because if I'm DMing someone or I connected with someone, I may pull them off of LinkedIn to email them, right? And a feed communication or your post. This is the communication that I engage with on posts that are coming out. Now, this also includes things like that happens on your feed, and then the people that, what was that tab, Jean-Michel, that you click on where you can see all the changes that happen? I'm kind of going blank here.
The changes.
The tab that has all your interactions of your post. If someone comments on your post, what's the name of that tab?
Well, the notification
notifications
tab, and also you may get notification on your smartphone if you install a LinkedIn app, which we recommend, of course.
When notifications go off, that's really important, because the key to making sales is timing. You have to reach somebody when they're interested. People lose interest really fast. So when you see a notification, you should then reach out to people right away, because all the work that you've done to lead up to that is giving you that opportunity to make that sale. Sorry to interrupt, guys.
No, that makes perfect sense. And let's say, for example, someone commented in your post. Well, 1/3 of my clients come from my post. 1/3 of my clients come from my direct messages, and another third clients come from my other activities. So if someone is replying to my post, I want to engage with them. And you go to the notifications tab on LinkedIn, allows you to do that. The fourth item is posting and community activities. Now, this is not just interacting. This is the creation of your post, your brand, the things that you're pushing out. And community activities are things like Zoom groups, networking groups, in person or virtual. And that's where I get my other third of clients, actually networking. Networking with people and solving problems. Jean-Michel, this one's yours.
Yeah, so I know we are short on time, but I just want to remind everybody, and you've covered some of that here. So, guys, if you are serious about LinkedIn, whether you're looking for a job or you are trying to develop and build your business, you have to develop your LinkedIn profile first. Think of it as this is your landing page. That's the first thing that your target audience is going to see, right? And you have 5 seconds to impress them. So we've covered that in the previous class. Optimizing your settings also is important, because you want to be fully visible. You want to make sure you have open all possible free communication channels, with other professional and not necessarily in your network, so open profiles, connecting to LinkedIn groups, because you can message anybody in a group, in a common group right now for free on LinkedIn, guys. So take advantage of that, right? You don't need to pay for emails at $1 a piece, okay? If you optimize your LinkedIn profile, with very, very few professionals know how to do, you will rank on top of the search engine. And you will activate inbound or attraction marketing. It means
I will also say that if you are so specific and you niche down on your profile, that can make a very large impact, on it. A single keyword sometimes may make the difference between getting the right prospect and the right relationship and not so much. Now, I'm going to try to go through these pretty quickly, but we talked about your target market, understand what your niche is. And we talked about that with the profile. You might do a lot of things well, but what's that one thing that you do very well? You don't want to be a flea market, The second item is truly helping others. You have to be a little selfless. I give out free meetings. I have about 4 free meetings a day. They're 15-minute meetings. I get 3 items out of it. One of 3 items. Number 1, I help them. I put out good energy in the universe. It comes back. They'll never say anything bad about you. You solved the problem. Number 2, you solved the problem, but they realize there's 23 other things. And so they hire me to fix it, you know, and they trust you. They understand that, like, oh, this is great, but I don't want to do all this other stuff. Troy, can you help me out with that? And the third thing is, well, they could recommend you, and recommendations are much easier to actually build relationships versus you try to sell yourself, you know? So when you're helping other people, you actually help yourself. The third thing is that don't connect with everybody and their mama. You know, why are you connecting with these people? Is there a reason? Do things for a purpose, you know, and it could have a level of selflessness as well, because you do want to help individuals, but you don't want to keep on connecting with people for the sake of connecting, you know, because I have so many meetings, I have to pick what's important, you know, and by doing that, you can concentrate and be able to convert more sales. Dynamic targeting is a longer spiel, and then we'll talk about that probably a little bit later, but it's more about connecting the dots. This right here is a graphic I put together, and it shows a campaign and gives you an idea what one LinkedIn account can do. Right here you have images, posts, you know, videos. It can go for Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I primarily use it for LinkedIn. And on LinkedIn, after I do this one campaign, I can have messaging campaigns as well for the newer audience, existing network, and beyond network. In certain instances, I'll pull over for email. And so here you're looking at literally 10 campaigns that could be set up on LinkedIn. So you can have capacity even with 100 invites a week. 100 is actually a lot. You know, I don't really need more than like 20, but 100's plenty for me. And I have a lot to spare. And so think about how you can use your existing network, how you can go beyond your network. How can you reach out to the right people at the right time, you know? So there's definitely not a big issue with that. Now, LinkedIn best practices, I'll just touch on the main things. Use your LinkedIn powers for good, not for evil. So what is helpful versus annoying? Are you just sending people PDFs and forcing it down their throat? That's actually spam. You know, you want to engage a conversation with someone and have them ask for the information. Human systems, yes, be human. Personalize the videos. Darius was just talking about that. Have real conversations. Figure out how to help that person. If I can't help them, someone I know might be able to solve the problem. I'm not the all-in and be-all, but I am a connector. So I'm here to genuinely help that individual, either whether I make money or not, because they're always going to remember good things about you, and they can run referrals as well. So you have to have a giving mindset, connecting with a purpose. Always connect for a reason, and we went over that before. You can stack your strategies. You can pre-engage, use Sales Navigator, and moving off of LinkedIn. Pre-engagement is when you engage with people perhaps on their post, maybe 2 or 3 times before you send them a LinkedIn message. By doing that, you boost your low rate of conversion all the way up pretty high. My pre-engagement rate is like 97%. There's 97% chance they'll connect with me if I am pre-engaged, you know? If I don't, and I just send them a quick message and I get a 50% chance. So my numbers are pretty good. So another thing I want to do is talk about this, and this link here, Ed, if you want to add, oh, you just did that. Great. This link here is a free give me. And so, but it's a document series, and it's what we call Service Operating Procedure, SOP. Our SOP happens to be an FAQ, you know, if that makes any sense at all. So this is the most used information that I can use to copy and paste, so I don't have to remember and write stuff from scratch. It has my links. It has a couple of my booking link. It has things like my major posts that maybe help answer questions, and it has my actual frequently asked questions. In any business, there's going to be like 8 questions, you know, that will cover the majority of stuff. You can get a free copy of this by going to this link. And this right here is another series, an article. It's the posting on LinkedIn. It shows you what should I post on LinkedIn. It gives you ideas, how to think about it, how to create a series. The other thing is when should I post on LinkedIn, how to create a decent video for LinkedIn. And you don't have to create an awesome video. You don't have to have production quality on LinkedIn. They're looking to engage with a real person. So keep it short and keep it easy, and then keep it professional. I also talk about some tools for editing, a little bit about your social selling index on there as well, and then how likes, comments, and shares kind of affects your reach on some of your posts. Now, SSI is pretty interesting. The better you do, the more your reach. If you get Sales Navigator, I think it boosts between 10 and 30 points. No, I think it's, what was it? 10 and 15 points it will boost within 2 weeks. So what we talked about today is a lot of stuff. So we're trying to give you a lot of information, and you can kind of refer back to this PDF when we give it out, and also our video. But I put together a day-to-day process. That's what Ed was talking about previously, is how do you create a day-to-day process? Well, you really should be on LinkedIn as far as your day-to-day process portion, not your meetings and all that. Should be between an hour and a half. That's what your goal should be. And you see a couple of things right here from welcome videos, LinkedIn DMs, newsfeed, pick and connect, pre-engage, how to do these things. I have a step-by-step and a video that goes along with it. I'm not going to give this away to this because these are for paying clients, but you can take a look at that and understand where I'm going with this. You're not going to do everything in a day. Pick what's going to happen within that time slot, and then block that time out and just get it done. The welcome video is exactly what Darius was talking about. LinkedIn DMs is another thing that you have to do on a day-to-day basis. You end up clicking the unread messages and go down the list. Newsfeed integration, interaction integration. That's very important too, because it's a large portion of your communication. Notifications, which I got a little brain stopped on that word notifications. Pick and connect, pre-engage. Oh, see, it slipped around, didn't it? And pre-engagement is what we talked about that boosted my level to 97% for accepting my invite. So I'll go and pass this screen here, and you can easily go to 4 or 5 meetings to having well over 30 meetings a week easily. I don't know how many this is, but this is well over 30 meetings. I have my system. I have a humanized system at probably about 30%. I cannot maximize my system because if I did, all my days would be meetings and I wouldn't get work done. So I slow down things in order to get those right meetings and to get that right conversion. This is one thing. Ed, do you want to talk on this here?
Sure. So the live sessions that we have, one of the things that we talked about when we did our profile makeover course is that we're offering these courses live at the beginning at a pretty deep discount. If you missed out on the profile makeover course that we got just a lot of positive reviews for, it was $97. It is no longer $97. It is $297. So one of the things that all three of us agree on is that when we say we're going to price something at one point and it'll increase to another price, once the course is done, you can believe that that's going to be the case. So in this case, we have, I hate even calling it the LinkedIn Essentials course because it's really foundational stuff. Mm-hmm. This is the blocking and tackling you need to be doing to be successful with LinkedIn. I'm using some sports football analogies, but this is what is required to be successful. These are 3 sessions. If you follow the day-to-day process that Troy's going to lay out for you, you will get appointments. If you're looking for appointments, you will get appointments. Troy gets 35 appointments a week. He's got a client that gets 60 appointments a week using this exact same process, which is really insane, but it can be done. I use this process to add to my subscriber list every single day. And he's laying out exactly what you need to do, step by step. He takes all the pieces of the puzzle and he lays them out for you, solves the puzzle. All you have to do is just follow along and take action. So we're going to show you what to do, how to do it, but it is up to you to actually execute.
Yeah, so a lot of these things we talked about, people want to get their bearings on LinkedIn. They want to figure out where they're at, where do they fit, and how to use it. And they need to understand how to tighten their target. You know, why am I reaching this person versus that person? And then once they get that day-to-day process, life becomes a lot easier, and it converts pretty well. Yeah, so we want to create a proper purpose and have you have the ability to execute that purpose there. Don't really have much to say on this, but did we have a for the show? Did we Jean-Michel? Did we have I think we had a discount on one of these things, didn't we?
Yeah, it's a $30 discount.
Oh, okay. So it's not
Troy 30, and
Actually, we for everybody who's attending today, we decided we want to do something a little more special for you guys, and there will be a $30 discount coupon on Troy's course as well as any other previous single course, and you can see here on this slide. So, of course, we love for you to attend the live session, like Ed was explaining. We're creating those courses, we are delivering them live, and then we will package. We are in the process of packaging the courses that delivered last month into the platform. And of course, anybody who purchased the courses at the time will have, lifetime access to the platform, to the courses on the platform.
Yeah.
So
I don't have the coupon code, guys. Could
I think I think we put it on one of the screens here. So I'll tell you this. There it is. If you want to copy and paste it and put it in the chat. So I'm going to tell you this. I charge $1,000 for 3 sessions, and 3 sessions is probably about 4.5 hours. And then I do an hour and a half of my work or whatever. This is actually a really good deal because we're grouping people in and helping people at a very low cost. So I always ask my clients, I say, how much is one high value client worth? That's the question. One client, sometimes it's $1,000 a month. Sometimes it's $3,000 for an IT company. It could be $80,000 or several $100,000. And so I look at it at that rate, and so the 3 areas that we're talking about is just like understanding that LinkedIn landscape, the core values, how LinkedIn thinks, the company, and then how they want you to kind of communicate with other people. It's not all about volume. We can expand the volume, but sometimes you'll get so many leads in there, it's not going to do any good. So deal with the people that you can kind of deal with to absorb, to convert, into that relationship. So just navigating, knowing where all the little tidbits are so you can get in and out pretty quickly. We're going to talk about premium services, what the differences between Sales Navigator and some of the other premium services. LinkedIn events, this event had quite a few people log in there. Something new, fairly new, is LinkedIn newsletters. That's getting some traction as well. And they're accepting LinkedIn Live if you change your profile to, what is it that you change it to, Jean-Michel? What is the mode? Creative mode? You're on mute. So it's creative mode. I was trying to get
creative
John.
mode, sorry.
There's the go. Okay.
Which is really, was designed for influencers. So just basically, instead of one of the things it changes too is that instead of the connect button being prominent on your profile, it would be more of a follow button. So so you can follow this person's feed and posts, etc.
Yeah. So the last part is executing the day-to-day process. So we talked about the process. Darius gave an example how to do something. But it would be great if we had a step-by-step process, not just for what Darius is talking about, but what you're going to do on a day-to-day process. And you want to get that down to about an hour and a half. Connecting, pre-engagement, we talked about. Something new called the Dream 100. Sometimes you want to follow and then you want to engage for other people's audiences. So if there's a major influencer that gets these great posts and stuff, you might be a part of that crowd, because that person can't convert all those individuals. And those are usually very, very good people to know other people's network. Communicating properly. How do you talk to someone so you can convert? I'm an awful speaker, but I do pretty well. And a lot of it is just understanding how to help that individual, how to keep it short, and how to be of value. We talk about strategy, campaigns, why am I doing certain things, using media that's engaging. Video is one of the top lists that's going to be engaging. Now, a lot of people say, well, posting video is not that great. You don't get many likes and stuff like that. We're not talking about posting video. We're talking about engaging on a one-off video with an individual. They see your face, they hear your voice, they know who you are. You're moving along the lines of understanding that person understanding and getting familiar and getting comfortable with you, So again, this is the code. I'm very open if people have questions.
While people are asking their questions, I'm going to put up a poll question, because I brought this up to these guys late last night. And we've got everybody on board for this. One of the problems that I find with being a solopreneur is it's the loneliness and the isolation, especially when you have to do a lot of different tasks. And unless you have a VA that's doing this, and even the VA is going to need some encouragement, having other people that have been through this, that have done it successfully, coach you, support you, answer your questions, motivate you, keep you accountable so that you actually do the day-to-day process, because it's easy to miss a day and then miss a week, and then all of a sudden you're back to scrambling to try to figure out what to do. So one of the things that we're looking to do is add a coaching program. I suggested it to them. They said, okay, let's find out if people are interested, where it is a weekly coaching program and accountability program where you can come to our group. We'll have a group session. We'll have a session. I think what I want to do is have a session at least once a week where we just take an hour. You come in for an hour, maybe it's on a Monday to get your Monday off right, and we just do our daily process for an hour. You come in, we'll set some goals. The screen will be turned off. Everybody will work on their own individually. Everybody will come back after an hour to see how you did, answer any questions you have, and we'll meet again maybe once during the week to go over some things, and we'll just repeat that process just to get the muscle memory going of doing the day-to-day process successfully, scheduling appointments. If you follow this process, within a week, you'll start booking appointments. Within a week. It's how fast it happens. But you have to follow through. You have to do the work. And having an accountability partner in a group and someone to mentor you along the way might help. So let's see how many people would be interested in that group's coaching session. And I'm putting up a poll just to find out if not very many people are interested or no one's interested at all, then we won't have it. And it was a bad idea by me, but I thought it would be something that people would want. And I'm hoping that there's an overwhelming majority of people that want it. Right now, it's not as overwhelming as I'd like it to be. A 50-50 split isn't good enough. We need to see.
I'll tell you, Ed, I think one thing that we're talking about at the beginning of our conversation, before we start this presentation, was how do we give it to them for free? So if we can add it to the course for the first month, they purchase and they can go on for the first month and get some movement going on. I think that's almost like a no risk. By doing that, if they see value and value in that, they can end up paying for it separately later on. So it's kind of a try before you buy. But I think by adding it to the course that we're already doing, they already have processes they need to do. And by having an accountability coach with those processes, they may actually do it. I think you're telling me that all these things are great as long as they do it, and it's hard to keep motivated. It's hard to keep focused. I mentioned I had a client that wanted me to be their accountability coach, and I was like, that costs money, you know, that's quite expensive, you know. So by doing it in a group, it kind of makes more sense.
So we'll let the poll go on for another 30 seconds and then close it. But you guys are going to decide whether this is something that we do. So if you'd like it, vote for it. If you don't need it, say, hey, I don't care about coaching. I'm fine on my own. That's cool. I find that if I'm working in a group, especially today was a good day, that I thought it would be really nice to have other people that were coming to the study hall together as I'm doing my daily process, because it doesn't take long, but it can be a bit of a grind, and it's easy to find other things to do or easily get distracted with all the other stuff that we do online. So we'll go another 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're at 60-40 for group coaching. So
is that enough, Ed, for you?
I don't know. Not for me, it's not. But,
oh, no.
Well, you need a overwhelming number.
So you're looking for 66%, right?
So yeah, 2/3. Is that it?
For at least 2/3.
Okay, well, I'll be the casting. Since it's my show, I'll just tell you what we're gonna do. Okay, if people purchase the live course, they'll have access to the evergreen. So when we'll have the live course, we'll chop it up and stuff, and so it can be digested again later in a smaller, compact way. We'll separate the PDFs, and we'll also supply coaching for a month. And I think it might be a good exercise. We have to figure out, since we have the classes next week, figure out the dates on that. But it should be fairly consistent, you know, at a particular point to make sure they're getting things done. So we just have to figure out to work around Christmas, you know.
Let me throw in one other thing about the coaching. One of the other components was a contest and a challenge. So I reached out to Darius last night to see if he would be willing to give an extended free access to those people that would be in the coaching program. And he agreed, as he's nodding right now. And we have him in public agreeing. We can hold him to that. We've got this recorded, so he can't back out. We've got another partner of ours. We have not asked, but we're pretty confident that they will donate an extended, they don't even have a free version, but they would offer a free version to people that would go through the coaching program. We really want to see you succeed, not just sell you a bunch of stuff that you go through and you're entertained for 3 days by Troy, and then you don't do anything with it, because that doesn't do you any good. And a lot of people sell courses, and after the course is sold, they go on their way, they put their money in the bank account. They really don't care what happens to you afterwards. And I've been on that side where you are, where I've bought courses, and I was excited when I started, ran into some roadblocks, got discouraged, looked for something else. This works. It really does. And we want you to succeed. So if you are interested, and we will group coach you, we'll be available to you, we'll motivate you, we'll hold you accountable, hold your feet to the fire. You'll see other people succeeding that are joining the course with you, so that you can see how well this does work. And we're going to try to provide you with as much support as we possibly can with our partners. And they're happy to do it.
There's a couple of Q&As here. Nisha asks if we offer courses through other platforms and stuff. What platform did we settle on, Jean-Michel? I think we've got a domain name.
Selected Podia,
Podia
for a number of reasons. They have a beautiful course player. They also offer a community, in the chat. And actually, you guys can, as you're taking the course, you can chat with me or Ed or Troy, and we can reply to you. We can answer your question live, so we can be your accountability partner as well. We wanted a community, a course platform that was more interactive to really encourage you to succeed, use the material, practice the material, follow the guidance. And it's going to be, those are a lot more than just courses. They are implementation guides, right? So we want you to follow direction and apply what you're learning. If we don't apply, we don't, without implementation, there is no success, and like Ed was saying as well, a lot of people fail with social media because they try it for a short time, and then they get, of course they don't close that $1 million deal that same week, and then they get okay, it's not working. You get discouraged. I don't know what I'm doing, and
mentioning that they don't get that multi-million-dollar deal, that large deal within a week. It takes about 14, 16 touches. Now I'm saying DM them 16 times, but don't do that. But if you are interacting with them on a post, that's a touch. If you are sending a DM, that's a touch. If they're responding, you're replying back, that's a touch. If you're providing them a meeting for whatever reason, that's a touch. You can get 14 touches pretty darn quick. And a lot of times it doesn't even take that for me. For using Darius's process with videos on the welcome, as long as your profile is primed and you're doing things correctly, you can get a meeting that week easily. So I've had it where as soon as I sent an invite, they accept it. They took a look at what I'm doing. I happen to send a video to them. This is great. I got to talk to this guy. That's the energy that you want to produce with some of the stuff here. You want to have an environment where they say, I have to talk to this person. I have a couple more questions in the Q&A. Vanda's actually a client of mine. She says she wants to do the trial and maybe for the paid session. Vanda, how about yes for the paid session? And I think Nisha was asking, instead of adding charge and accountability, the special feature of your choice. Well, this feature that we're going to do is, if you get the course, we'll do the accountability coaching sessions for free for a month. That's what we're talking about. So we're doing that to make sure, to be honest with you, it's not entirely selfless. If you get the course and you do well, we make more money. That's the truth. So if you do well, that means you make more money. So we're here to put our extra effort in it to make sure that you're doing well. We want to make sure that you're converting on that. And that's a purpose for accountability and coaching. See, so I purchased the LinkedIn Essentials course, but is it saying I can't access it till January 15th? Okay, Alex, that's a good question. You just purchased it. That January 15th is the evergreen courses, not the live course. So we're having a live course next week, and then we're going to implement that in smaller chunks, and you'll have access to that as well. So yes, you'll still have access to that. He's just referring to it when it's all polished up for the evergreen and the smaller bits. Patricia sent a message on the host panel. Don't know what she said there. Hello. That's what I see.
I just replied to Patricia, and also I think you answered the question, Troy.
Oh, I did.
So
okay.
guys, yeah. So as we obviously we love for you to attend Troy's live course next week. After the course, of course, each day of the course, each session, you will get via email. You will get a recording of the session. You will get access to download all handouts, all files and docs provided during the course. And then in January, the course will be available on the online platform, as if you were going to Udemy. And of course, the experience on the course, the course experience will be a lot more interactive with quizzes, etc. But obviously, we need a little bit of time to create and load the course on the platform, obviously.
I'm going to tell you one thing that everyone's going to want to have is this daily process here. And this is an example. This is not going to be everyone's daily process, but everyone's daily process is going to be very specific to that day. What can I get done? And you'll click on the video, and it'll actually go to a dub video, and it will tell you step by step on how to do it. So even if we're not available, you'll have step-by-step instructions in order to get you from point A to point B. you know. So this alone is definitely worth the time and cost, and the ability to convert. So if you're serious about converting, you know, you do need a process that kind of makes sense and just makes your life easier, you know. One thing I want to do is I want to move to the last slide here before we run out of time. And we want to talk about our next show. It is January 1st. And Ed, I think you've updated the LinkedIn event page, hopefully. And we want to talk about these two guest speakers real quick, and we can get back on the courses for questions. But Jennifer Glass is a person that can connect the dots. She can figure out how to get things done. She's a very, very dynamic person. And that's her LinkedIn. I think we gave it to you guys before. The second guest speaker is going to be an inspirational speaker, Corey Warfield. He has over 300,000 followers on LinkedIn. So he creates LinkedIn influencers. So I may be a LinkedIn influencer, but he creates LinkedIn influencers. And so he'll be on the show January 1st, same time. Really good people. So feel free to, you know, jump on and register on the Zoom for that, for next month. Again, it's a free show. We're going to be just talking, Jennifer Glass is going to be talking about business, how it relates to LinkedIn, and Corey's going to talk about LinkedIn in general and how to make it work for you in the way it works for him. So I'll go back to the essentials information there. See. Oh, Jennifer's here. She's happy to help everyone. Jennifer, go ahead and pop your link in there too so they can connect with you. And if anyone wants to connect with me, feel free. Ed, if you can add my LinkedIn connection on there, that would be fine, because I'm always open just to help people answer questions. A lot of times you just need that one thing to be fixed in order for you to kind of move forward to make your life a lot easier. So I know that for my business, I concentrate on two areas. And I try to help everyone, but one is my high-end clients, because the services that I do on the high-end clients, they cost a lot of time. It's a lot of one-on-one, but they're actually generating business, and their values are, they have courses or courses or plans or IT or projects or whatever it is that they're helping people with on consulting, a lot of consulting, that over $1,000 to $3,000 a pop per person per month, And so that's one of my main sources of revenue. And I do really well with that. I enjoy it. I have actually fired a lot of clients that did not make their meetings. So I'm also a stickler. Like if I'm going to personally introduce you to someone and you not make the meetings, it makes me look bad. So I keep a very professional attitude with that, because I want them to succeed. The other is these LinkedIn events. We put a lot of time into this. We do pre-engagement. We build these courses, and they're cheap. I mean, they're very inexpensive, and you have access to people that can just answer your questions. At the end of the day, why are you on LinkedIn? And I'll go back to that same question I had before. How much is one high value client worth for you? What if you got one a month? What if you got one every 2 weeks? What would that look like for you? And so those things are pretty important. I bumped into a friend of mine. He's a veteran as well, and he helps veterans to maximize their disability. So when they get out, a lot of times out of the Army, they send you back to the Army doctors, Well, he has his own doctors to make sure, and he does really well. And he doesn't close one deal a month, He closes several deals a day. But that's a whole different model. That may not be a huge dollar amount, but over a course of a month, he can close like 30 clients. And even under that $30,000 mark, it's quite a bit of money. So it's about creating that traction, that movement. And then once you have that traction and movement, a lot of this stuff is compound. I think we have a couple of other things going on here. Any other questions or anything that people want to ask? I think we are 18 minutes after the hour right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to stay on for to 3:20 Eastern time, and then we'll go ahead and drop off. We'll stay here for questions if anyone has it. If anyone wants my information or any questions about LinkedIn at all. Let's see here. Oh, thanks, Jennifer. I appreciate that. Yeah.
I'm gonna jump off, guys. If anything question video related, make sure you guys check out that link that we provided for video stuff. We're just like the team here. Video stuff, come bother us. Course stuff, come bother Troy and the team here. See you guys next time.
Oh, and
Thanks,
Darius, we're
Darius.
going to be including some of your items in the course specifically, so
Awesome.
they can use Dub with these day-to-day processes.
Absolutely. We're here on all channels for support there. Free trial. So it's not like you get to buy a Sales Navigator or whatever. You can check out the free trial and do everything you need to as part of this.
Thanks, Darius. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Love to have me. Thank you. Bye.
So Carrie's asking a question. I'm sorry, Carrie. I got to scroll up. Can you repeat the question, Carrie? Sir. What about sales versus educational post? Oh, don't do sales post. That's a simple answer. If you're doing a sale, that doesn't really get much reach. What I do is I do posts that actually help people. So I'm the LinkedIn guy. I solve a LinkedIn problem. I solve communication issues, that sort of thing. The purpose of a post is to get exposure and to more so provide value. It's not value to us, it's value to them. And that's a big difference, you know. You need to be in the position where people believe what you say. Now, I'm not saying that you can't put a cheeky business post on there, because I do that once in a while. I have one that has an image of me and I have a weird position and it's just an odd picture. And I put the text, he looks stupid, but he can get you clients, you know? And that's an exception. I kind of put that in there. I do have an animation we did. I said, hey, I got this new animation I put out there, and it is business related, but it's also process related. So every once in a while, you can put a couple of those things, add a little humor in it. But by far, 95% of your posts, you want to have them to be very personalized and engaging for the audience. Glad you like it. Responses to post. Yeah, that's a good question. When you create a post, you want to post with a purpose. So a lot of times that title of the post will engage that audience. And a lot of times you have a question in there. So if you have or not a question, it can be a question, but it could be a call to action. And that way you can drive a conversation within the post. And then sometimes you can convert people on a post to actual meeting. I think that's how Ed and I met. Wasn't that, Ed? Can you tell that story about posting?
Yeah, we did meet on posting. It was a conversation, probably from a comment. I'm pretty certain either you commented on one of my posts or I commented on one of yours, and it went back and forth. It wasn't very long before we got on a quick Zoom call and just had a chat. It wasn't a sales call. It was just a get to know you meeting. That's led to referral business back and forth and us working together. And that's happened just inside of a year. Our relationship's
I
only
think you
a year
gave me a
old, but
video testimonial, right? Because I was giving you advice.
I did.
Yeah.
That's after our meeting.
Oh, okay. I now remember.
Yeah, we met and then you did that. Yeah.
So basically I was giving him advice, like I'm saying now. And he says, you know, I got 3 meetings out of that one post, you know? I said, that's really good. That's really good. If you're posting 3 to 5 times, you got 3 meetings out of it. That's superb. I said, for every 500 views, you should be able to convert into a meeting on average. It depends on the audience and stuff like that, you know. And I think on that one post he got around 500 and he got three meetings out of it. I said, well, that's not
and
usual though. I'm not going to don't mislead
sales.
people. It's not normal. I mean, but on the average about, you know, every 500 you should be able to convert into a chit chat. And when I have meetings, I don't sell unless they say I need this. You know, I have 15-minute meetings. Sometimes I go over, that's fine. But I just want to hear what they're doing, how they're doing it. Are they doing it well? How can I help? You know, and I think that's how our meeting went, Ed. And we're able to not just me helping you, but we end up being partners. So it's a good thing. And finding good partners is more rare than finding good clients, you know. So I'm very grateful for some of these guys helping me be more grateful to other people, you know, and just offer value. That's all my followers. Well, I can help you get a lot more followers. You should. I think I have 18,000 on mine, but just because you don't have a large audience doesn't mean that you can't get a large following, and vice versa. People that have a large a LinkedIn network doesn't mean that everybody sees your post. So you can gain in popularity pretty quickly. Of course, you have to worry about burnout, you know. So posting 3 times a week is not that hard. Posting 5 can get a little tedious. So you have to either have someone to help you with that, or you have to be a little more disciplined on your producing content. So if you think about producing content, what I do on some of these things, I used to have these shows or some other people's shows or other people's podcasts and record the information and use that as content, or I would chop it up into smaller bits. One thing I did was the posting series. So I was able to create 9 videos about posting, you know. So I had a single idea, and this wasn't one session, but I had a single idea is like how to post, what to post, when to post. That was my original idea, right? And I said, oh, I can make a series of videos out of this, you know. And so I did. I not only created a series of videos out of it that ended up being 7 separate posts over a course of 3 weeks. I ended up creating an article, and that article is what you have, guys, what I provided for all of you. And it's evergreen. That means you can go back to it, you know. Cool. All right. Awesome. Well, unless anyone has any other questions, Ed, do you think we should go ahead and drop off and thank everyone for joining?
Yeah, we should wrap it up. And we're happy to, 27 people stayed on to the very, very end. So we're glad to see that.
That's
we
nice.
hope we've provided you good value and information that you could use. We're going to do the replay. The replay will be ready probably tomorrow, maybe tonight. As soon as it is, I'll email out to you the replay link and information on how to sign up for the course, how to get the discount. And if anyone wants to participate in the group coaching to go along with the course, we'll get you set up for that also.
Yeah, I want to thank everyone who stayed on and everyone who even joined. So you might see this video again, you've jumped off, but thank you for joining. Hopefully this has provided some value to you. We put a lot of work into this, and we're here to kind of provide service. And another thing too is, we all have businesses to run. This is one thing we're doing for a lot of people that just can't afford the high-end services. So it makes sense. It really does to kind of charge at least something and provide a lot of value. Because if you end up being successful, you might give us a testimonial, you know, and that will help us along the way. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. I appreciate it.
Thank you all.